Would you believe a home run? And the Dodgers have clinched the division and will celebrate on schedule.
And if things go their way, the Dodgers will celebrate another National League West Division title tonight. It would be their 5th straight. Hello, everybody. Welcome inside Dodger Stadium. I'm Alana Rizzo. Time now for the Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. The Dodgers have a magic number of 1, meaning if they win the division. If the Arizona Diamondbacks lose, the Dodgers win the division. That would be 5 straight NL West Division titles. No National League West team has ever won 5 consecutive divisional titles since the ERA started back in 1969. The last Major League Baseball team to win 5 straight, the Philadelphia Phillies, where the Dodgers just were 2007 through 2011. Let's get it done tonight, guys.
The Dodger magic number is, of course, 1. They are watching the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Marlins play in Phoenix in the 2nd inning with Greinke going for the Diamondbacks. The Marlins and Arizona are tied at 3. So if Miami wins tonight in the middle of the Dodger game, the Dodgers will clinch their 5th straight division title. Dodgers win on their own, they win their 5th straight division title. Dodgers coming off that 5-5 road trip. They've lost 20 of their last 26 and trying to get things together against the San Francisco Giants, who they've beaten 9 out of 16. The Giant lineup is brought to you by Honda, beginning with Corky Hernandez at center field. Joe Panik has been red hot the second half of the season. Buster Posey's the 6th leading hitter in the National League. Pence has been hot lately. Crawford at short. Nick Hundley behind the plate. Pablo Sandoval's actually hit well the last couple of weeks. Mac Williamson is in left field. Jeff Samardzija is pitching and batting 9th. Rich Hill, the 37-year-old left-hander, making his 24th start of the year. He's pitched well against the Giants so far this season. Of course, this will be his final meeting with them. Last Saturday in Washington, Rich Hill pitched very well. Gave up 1 run, 1 hit in 5 innings. He got the win in a 3-2 win at Nationals Park, where he struck out 7 and walked 2. The Giants, well, they're just playing out the string. The Dodgers looking for 1 more win to win their division title for the 5th consecutive year. Dodgers and Washington, in terms of home field advantage for the postseason, the Dodgers began the night 4 in front of the Nationals in the all-important loss column. Final week of the season, it's the all-important loss column. And the Mets have a 7-6 lead over the Nationals in New York. Washington coming to bat in the top half of the 9th inning. Well, Oral Hershiser is back from his emceeing duties, and that was a great thrill down there.
It is a great thrill, and what a thrill it would be for these Dodgers right now on Tommy's birthday celebration day to win the division title. I'm sure Rich Hill feels that responsibility in a big way before this first pitch.
Corky Hernandez takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Hernandez at .251, still hasn't hit a home run. In a year in which more home runs have been hit than ever before in Major League Baseball, Corky Hernandez is an anomaly as he takes high. 1 ball and 1 strike from Rich Hill. Joe Panik on deck, and then Buster Posey. Beautiful night, 66 degrees on the 90th birthday of Tommy Lasorda. Hernandez with a perfect bunt. So Hernandez is aboard with the infield hit. And now let's take a look at the Giant defense beginning, or the Dodger defense beginning with Logan Forsythe at third, Corey Seager at short, Utley is at second base, Cody Bellinger at first, Grandal behind the plate in the outfield. Andre Ethier is in left, Chris Taylor in center, Curtis Granderson is in right. So the Giants, with Hernandez, who has stolen 10 out of 14 at first base, and Panik takes a ball upstairs and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Panik at .291, 10 home runs and 50 runs batted in. Panik's been the Giants' hottest hitter these days. hitting .490. He's 25 for his last 51 over his last 14 games. Posey on deck, Pence to follow. So the Giants' killer peas. Giants this year at 60 and 93. It has been a long, torturous season for him. Bruce Bochy really never knew what hit him. The Giants at 60 and 93, the worst record in baseball. The last time they had the worst record in baseball, 1984. Big, slow curve up and in. And it's 2 balls and a strike.
You know, Charlie, they have struggled since last year's All-Star break. They were the worst team in baseball after the All-Star break last year, and that has continued on to this year. And of course, the unfortunate and avoidable accident that Madison Bumgarner had probably attributed a lot to that.
There's a strike, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Madison Bumgarner has 3 wins this year, or as many home runs as he's hit, which is generally not a good sign when your ace has 1 but 3. Here's the 2-2. The runner goes. The pitch outside. The throw is not in time. Gorkys Hernandez, what he gives up in power, makes up for in speed. That's his 11th stolen base.
Rich Hill with a pretty high leg kick, hoping to be deceptive there, but then with the high leg kick it takes time, and that time allowed the stolen base to happen.
So Panic, the Giants' hottest hitter, has a runner in scoring position. Panic slashes it foul toward the Dodger dugout. For the Dodgers, it's just been a matter of time for weeks. Once upon a time, not so long ago, they were 91 and 36. Tonight, they're 97 and 56. They just need one more win to get across the finish line. They get ready for October the 6th, Friday, against the Western, or at least the wild card winner, depending on how this night plays out.
Yeah, it could be Arizona, it could be Colorado, it could be Milwaukee.
Brewers lost a tough one last night to the Cubs. Panic to short. There's the first out.
First baseman number 28.
Big out for Rich Hill because it settles the butterflies a little bit with this exciting evening. You have a man on second and no out, and the out's recorded to the left side of the diamond. So now you've got a chance, even with recording routine outs, to prevent the run.
But it's not going to get a whole lot easier with Buster Posey stepping in. Posey at 3:15. Tommy's 90th birthday. And for Posey, lifetime .331 against left-handed pitching. Up and in, 1 ball and no strikes. Pence on deck, Crawford to follow.
In other years, you would say pitch around Buster to get to Hunter. Right now, I think that still should be the strategy. Pence having one of his worst years in his career. And so there shouldn't be an awful lot of respect given to the on-deck hitter compared to the man at the plate.
Posey into center field for a base hit. Gorkys Hernandez rounding third, and he'll score standing up. So Posey drives in the first run of the game. A bunt hit, a stolen base, and the single to center for Posey.
Rich Hill attacked Buster Posey, went after him with strikes. They were trying to go fastball up and in like they did the pitch before. That one again, but didn't get it elevated enough, didn't get it in enough. And Posey made him pay. Giants break on top.
And there would be nothing that would please the Giants and their fans more than spoiling the Dodgers party tonight as Pence steps in. And Hunter, no balls and 1 strike. Pence hitting .333 against the Dodgers this year. And in their last 5 meetings head to head, .478. Inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. So the Dodgers playing come from behind early. The Marlins have a 4-3 lead in Arizona. The D-backs are hitting in the bottom of the second. We'll keep you up to date on that one. And a strike to Pence. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Mets and the Nationals are in the 9th inning in New York. Mets with a 7-6 lead, but the Nationals are threatening. The 1-2. Pence is done. 2nd out of the 1st.
Attacked him with all fastballs. Made a much better pitch to Pence than he did to Posey, and he gets a better result.
Now Brandon Crawford coming up.
Fastball inside, just beats him to the spot.
Crawford on the year, a quiet .246, but in the last month he's at a .324 clip, and he's raised his average late in the season by 22 points. No balls and 1 strike to Brandon Crawford with Nick Hundley on deck. Well, the Dodgers pick up a half a game on the Washington Nationals. Mets beat them tonight in New York 7-6. As Crawford fouls it off to the left. So the Dodgers closing in on home field advantage throughout the playoffs. They're a game in front of the Cleveland Indians for best record in baseball should the Dodgers and the Indians meet in the World Series. That's a big if, and it's a long way to go between now and then. The Dodgers would have home field advantage as of tonight. 0-2, a quick toss to first base, and Posey back standing up.
Dodgers looking for any way that they can collect momentum. Checking the box that they're going to be in the playoffs for sure. Want to check the box now that they win the division. Home field advantage would definitely be the next box they'd want to check.
On 0-2, up the middle, into center field for a base hit, and Posey will go to 3rd. If you're looking for the working definition of a seeing eye single, that was it.
It sure was, Charlie. Tell you what, Corey Seager had to come a long way. He was playing him around to pull. Chase Utley was far over to the right, and when the ball gets to center field, Posey gets to 3rd, but that's the only damage so far.
Brings up Nick Hundley. Hundley at .246 has 8 home runs and 30 runs batted in. So he's been catching most of the second half of the season. Brandon Belt's been on the disabled list with a concussion. And so Posey has been spending most of his time at first base, allowing Hundley playing time behind the plate. But Hundley's been struggling. He's hitless in his last 11 at-bats and hitting .171 in his last 13 games. 1st and 3rd and 2 out. Breaking ball inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Diamondbacks have taken the lead at home against the Marlins. David Peralta's knocked in a couple. Fly ball to right. That's Granderson. And that'll do it. But not before the Giants come up with a run, 3 hits, and leave 2. Dodgers' magic number is 1, facing Jeff Samardzija tonight. Brought to you by SoCal Gas. For energy efficiency rebates on qualifying appliances, go to SoCalGas.com/rebates. Back at Dodger Stadium, here's the lineup put together by manager Dave Roberts, courtesy of Honda. It's going to be Taylor, Seager, Bellinger, Granderson, Ethier hitting in the 5th spot. The Dodgers looking for somebody to tackle that number 5 spot this year. And Ethier has played well since his arrival back on the 1st of September. Grandal, Utley, Forsythe, and Hill facing 32-year-old right-hander Jeff Samardzija.
Jeff Samardzija has been better of late. Had a tough loss in his last start. 8 innings, 3 runs that he only gave up, and got a loss against the Arizona Diamondbacks. He will be out there for a while. He's been over 100 pitches his last 4 starts in a row, attacking people mostly now with the fastball up as a finishing pitch.
So here's Taylor leading it off. And Chris takes a strike. It's 0-1. Taylor went into a swoon in late August. Last 4 games, he's turned things around. Taking inside. So Taylor and Seager and Bellinger beginning against Samardzija. His 31st start, 9-14, at a .442 earned run average. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Chris Taylor. Taylor was 9 for 38 on the road trip, and has done a great job as a Dodger leadoff hitter this year. As he takes high and outside. When batting leadoff in 67 games, Chris Taylor is hitting .313. Two and 2. Giants an early 1-0 lead. We'll do it again.
Dodgers would love to start getting in the routine of getting into fast starts. Giving up the run in the first doesn't help, but this offense is starting to look like it's coming together. We've talked about how they're always looking for somebody to hit behind Cody Bellinger, but when the core 4 is healthy and in there, they started to look like they were going to swing the bats really well.
Ball strike 3. Taylor is down. Now a look at the Giant defense, brought to you by Tech Medicine of USC. Brandon Crawford's about as good as it gets at short. Sandoval at third. You got Joe Panik and Buster Posey on the right side of the infield. Mac Williamson in left, Gorkys Hernandez in center, Hunter Pence in right, and Nick Hundley is behind the plate. Now Seager at 297. Pitch high and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Dodgers got home from their long road trip. Landed at LAX about 9 o'clock last night. It was a long day, what with a day game in Philadelphia. And Seager, who's been struggling over the last 17 games, 1 ball, 1 strike. Dodgers would split 10 on the road. It's hard to believe they began the road trip in San Francisco.
And 2 coasts, some day games, some night games mixed in, and the thing that made it feel maybe a little bit longer and tiresome was just the record. They just didn't produce at the level they were hoping to, but they are still in a position to be very happy after tonight's game.
2-1. And Seager's troubles continue. Sandoval, 2 gone. Tonight's closed captioning brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel.
First baseman number 35, Cody Bellinger.
Now Bellinger coming up. Cody on the trip was 13 for 37, which translates into a .351 batting average, .274 on the year. 2 out, bottom of the first. Giants with an early 1-0 lead. Bellinger walks a lot, but he strikes out a lot. Leads the Dodgers in having been struck out 135 times. And it's 0-2.
And because he strikes out a lot, the thing that balances those books are all those walks, Charlie. And when he swings the bat as hard as he normally does, he's going to hit it a long way. And so I guess you will take those ratios. And I think as his career continues, he'll cut back on the strikeouts as he learns the league and learns more about himself and how he should approach the league.
1 ball and 2 strikes. 38 home runs, 91 runs batted in. And the 1-2. Out of play. Justin Turner not in the lineup tonight. Got whacked on the thumb by a pitch ball from Mark Leiter Jr. yesterday. He's also under the weather, so he's sitting it out. Alon will have more detail on Justin Turner coming up in a bit. Samardzija on 1 and 2. We'll do it again. The Dodgers had such a big lead for such a long time. They really haven't had to play a game with any sense of urgency.
Nothing that has much consequence.
Call strike 3. Bellinger is done. Dodgers go in order. Samardzija strikes 2 of 3. 1-0 San Francisco as we head to the second.
The 2017 is filled with fast-paced pick-up-and-play MLB action packed with all of your favorite MLB teams, players, ballparks, and much more. Get RBI Baseball today for Nintendo Switch. To learn more, visit rbigame.com.
And by the time we get to Phoenix, you'll find that Arizona's got a 6-4 lead over the Marlins in the bottom half of the second inning. And one-time Dodger Javi Guerra is now pitching for the Marlins. Pablo Sandoval at 212. Of course, he signed that huge contract with the Red Sox. Didn't pan out. And so he has returned to San Francisco with the Red Sox paying the bulk of the freight. Last 3 games, the Panda is 7 for 11. He went through a hitless drought of 39 games from August the 25th through September the 8th.
The Panda's growing his claws back. It's going to be a little late, though, for this season. He's going to have to get it ready for next.
Well, the Giants figure whatever they get out of him is bonus. Sandoval with Mac Williamson on deck, and then Jeff Samardzija. Pandas down, second strikeout for Hill.
That's an 89-mile-an-hour fastball that is taken for a strike, but the reason it is at 90, it's taken for a strike because of the great curveball that sets it up. And sometimes he doesn't even have to throw the curveball in the at-bat for batters to be looking for it. They sit there so long and think, I need to look for it, but it never comes.
Mac Williamson at AAA this year. Hit .244 with 14 home runs and 50 runs batted in. Left field for the Giants has essentially been a black hole since the retirement of Barry Bonds. So they've been trying to get somebody to take the spot. Williamson at the big league level this year, a couple of home runs, 5 runs batted in. Takes outside, and it's 2-1. Samardzija on deck. The 2-1 on the way. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Giants have always envisioned Williamson to be a big power hitter. Been a long year for Bruce Bochy. His 11th season with the Giants. Here's a 2-2. Hill has struck out 3, 2 in a row, and that'll bring up Samardzija.
This outing here tonight for Rich Hill is a great thing that he can mimic the pressure that he'll feel in October in the playoffs, taking personal responsibility that he wants to be the one today to lead the Dodgers to the clinch. Use that personal motivation and pressure on yourself to mimic what's coming October 6th and on.
Samardzija not much of a hitter. He's 6 for 60. That's how you get to be 100. "37-year-old Rich Hill. This is his 24th start. Hill, like many of the Dodger starters, they've struggled the second half of the season, really from August of 26 on. August 25th, 26 has been the dividing line for the Dodgers. But Samardzija down on strikes. Hill has fanned 4. 1-0 San Francisco as we go to the bottom of the second. LA is brought to you by the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica, the new benchmark of minivans, and by Jack in the Box. Come try the new $4.99 Smoky Jack Burger Combo with small fries and a small drink. Limited time only. Dodger Stadium on this Friday night. Dodgers, the magic number is 1. They're not getting any help from the Diamondbacks, who have a 7-4 lead over the Marlins. Miami hitting in just the top half of the 3rd inning at Chase Field. It'll be Granderson, Ethier, and Grandal against Samardzija, who retired the Dodgers in order. 16 pitches, couple of strikeouts in the first. Granderson takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Granderson, when he gets his hits, they go a long way. But it's been a struggle for him in terms of batting average since coming to the Dodgers, hitting just .129. Here's the 1-1. Drilled, foul. And it's 1-2.
When Curtis hasn't gotten hits but hit the ball hard, because he is such a predominantly a pull hitter, the defense has played him perfectly.
They've got the shift on for him. And the 1-2. We'll do it again.
You see that spinning action in his swing. And the tendency for guys when they get a little older is to find another power source than being able to go straight through and attack the ball up the middle of the diamond. Sometimes guys will start defaulting to spinning.
Granderson with a home run yesterday in Philadelphia. Now the 1-2. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dodger offense has really struggled. In the month of September, they're hitting .212. Granderson down on strikes. Samardzija has faced 4 Dodgers. He struck out 3 of them. Now here's Ethier, who's been a very interesting case study upon his return. Andre is 8 for 25.
In talking to Andre, you're talking to somebody who really does believe he has a lot left in the tank. The only thing he worries about on a daily basis is the body going to respond at a level that lets him play at an elite level. But as far as the habits, the emotions, the strategy of hitting a baseball, he still feels very confident that he can do it, and he has been proving it of late.
Pinch hit home run, hit it the other way yesterday in Philly in the 7th inning. Big moment in the game as the Dodgers would come from behind and beat the Phillies 5-4. This was yesterday.
The Volkswagen replay of that home run and that sweet swing. Of course, you've heard about it forever in baseball, but when hitters have power to the opposite field, it is almost the perfect swing that they're taking to the batter's box.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Andre Ethier. With Taylor having taken over the center field spot, you see he's in good company with Sean Green ahead of Willie Davis, and then there's Adrian Gonzalez among left-handed batters in LA Dodger history. The left field spot is pretty well open for competition over the final 9 games of the season, and Ethier now with this push after his arrival on September 1st becomes a very interesting story.
It's really like the stock market. You've got to watch the returns every day to see where your stock is, and Dave Roberts is asked to address it with Alana in the scrum every day, and Alana asks great questions and has to get the latest information of what they're thinking.
Ethier takes high and inside, 2-2.
They talk about they're still in the evaluation stage. Even talked about that with Ryu today, that he's thrown the ball really well in the second half and decisions have not been completely made. And for sure, Andre's production and the quality of the at-bats is throwing a little wrench into some people's plans, possibly.
Meanwhile, Samardzija has struck out 4 of the first 5 batters he's faced.
I could just imagine being Andre Ethier and through the whole rehab and watching this historic season go on and watching the team do so many great things and thinking and motivating as he's lifting weights or as he's rehabbing or he's getting treatment, that he wants to be part of it at the end, and that was probably a driving force for him.
2 out, brings up Grandal at 244. Grandal has been struggling as well. Here's a strike, and it's 0-1. "20 home runs, 52 runs batted in." Inside.
I think Yasmani is over the hump as far as the slump. It's not completely behind him, but now he goes to bed knowing that he's gotten a few hits, home runs, hit the ball hard, but the wind knocked it down, and starting to feel more comfortable with himself. And when he wakes up in the morning and he knows he's going to be in the lineup, he's looking forward to the 4 at-bats, this being the first one tonight.
One of 6 Dodgers with 20 or more home runs. A 1-2. Low and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Yasmani Grandal.
How many times this year when we watched Yasiel Puig check swing at a slider low and away, we said, wow, he's starting to really look good. Well, that check swing right there of Grandal.
Into short right center. Ortiz Hernandez. Another 1-2-3 inning for Jeff Samardzija. Giants 1, Dodgers nothing. We head to the 3rd. Birthday with old blue eyes. We're in the top of the 3rd here at Dodger Stadium. The Giants a 1-0 lead. They're in the top of the 3rd in Arizona, and the Marlins and Diamondbacks are tied at 7, and Zach Greinke's getting lit up tonight. Of course, if the Marlins win, the Dodgers will have clinched the National League Western Division title for the 5th consecutive year. Top of the order for San Francisco as we begin the 3rd. Ortiz Hernandez, a bunt base hit in his first at-bat, stole second and came around to score on a Buster Posey base hit. No balls and 1 strike to Ortiz Hernandez. Rich Hill in search of his 11th win. You figure he's the number 3 guy in the postseason rotation. Kershaw, Darvish, Hill. After that, who's number 4? decisions yet to be made. The veteran Hill with a 3.6 ERA. Hernandez is down on strikes. That's 4 strikeouts in a row for Hill, 5 in the game, first out of the third.
Again, the high fastball, the same window that he throws the curveball out of. Waiting, waiting, waiting. What's it doing? Oh, it's the straight one, and it beats you to the spot.
Now Joe Panik, who popped a short in his first at bat. Panik at 290, takes outside. 1 ball and no strikes. That is St. John's. Two balls and no strikes. Stay tuned a little later on in the game for deeper coverage presented by T-Mobile. Posey on deck, 2-0 from Hill. Sliced out of play, and it's 2-1. Panik grew up in Yonkers, as they say back east in Yonkers. Hitting .435 this month. Gets hit.
I don't know why they call it the funny bone, but that's approximately where he got it. And it stings. Fastball trying to hang in there in case it does break, kind of like we've seen with Cody Bellinger and Corey Seager in left-on-left situations. Panik hanging in there for the breaking ball and gets cheese on the elbow.
That'll swell up before long. He chooses not to use the elbow guard. Bellinger does. Now Posey singled home a run in his first at bat, takes inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Barry Bonds, of course, when he was hitting, he had an armadillo.
It was armor between him and Craig Biggio. Baseball had to make rules about how far the armor could protrude off of your body, and they said an inch, but I'm not sure they ever measured Barry's. He had bolts on there.
So they could hang in. Here's the 1-1. Into left. And there's Ethier. A sight for sore eyes in left field, Andre Ethier. In his 12th season with the Dodgers at point of service, nobody's been around longer. Kershaw's next. Kershaw 11 years with the Dodgers. 2 gone. And Pence coming up.
You know, Charlie, as far as that armor topic, I was always in favor of umpires being able to say the batter does not get first base if it hits the armor, and they kind of use it to make sure it's in there, and actually favor the call towards the defense, so that if you're going to wear armor and you want to be protected, that's great. But if in any way we think you use the armor to get on base, you could just stay right here and still hit.
Spoken like a devout pitcher.
Spoken like somebody who threw fastballs in, and these guys didn't move.
Here's the 1-0. Pence swings and misses, and it's 1-1. Pence at 259. He's had a long year. Sliced foul. But against the Dodgers, he's 11 for his last 23. He and Posey down through the years have always been right in the middle of rallies that'll break the Dodgers' hearts. Pence on 1 and 2 instead of toss to first base. Panic has stolen 4 out of 5 this year. Pence, a career .284 hitter, .259 this year, and he's been hot lately to get it up to that point. Into right, and there is Granderson. That'll do it. No runs, no hits, a hit batsman. 1 man left after 2.5. Giants 1, Dodgers nothing.
Nominate them for a chance to be named a Spectrum Sports Championship Drive athlete and receive a $2,500 college scholarship. Go to SpectrumChamp.com now for more information.
We head to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Utley to lead it off. Logan Forsythe at third base tonight on deck. And then Rich Hill. Samardzija has retired the first 6 Dodgers in succession. He has struck out 4 of them. Utley takes high, 1 ball, no strikes. Every time Utley stepped into the batter's box in Philadelphia this week, got a huge ovation from the Philly crowd. Gone but not forgotten, and a strike to Utley. It's 1-1.
Because of that attention being put on Chase there in Philadelphia, the love. When Charlie Culberson came into the on-deck circle to hit for him, Charlie got booed.
Well, it's Philadelphia.
They've booed Santa Claus and Mike Schmidt.
Forsythe next, the 1-1 to Utley. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. He and Rollins and Howard, Lee, Hamels, Chooch, those Philly teams. Matt Stairs certainly broke the Dodgers' hearts a decade ago. Now Stairs their hitting coach. The 1-2, Utley to left. And toward the corner, Williamson makes the play. First out of the 3rd.
Third baseman number 11.
So Samardzija
Forsythe
has retired the first 7 batters, and Logan Forsythe coming up. Forsythe at .224. And has not fared at all well against Jeff Samardzija. 5 home runs and 32 runs batted in for Logan Forsythe. It was 3 for 19 on the road trip. Outside. It's beginning to sound like Forsythe and Utley will be platooning in the postseason at second base. Again, nothing has been etched in stone. There's a line drive base hit headed toward the corner. Forsythe's going to get himself a double out of the deal. First base runner of the night for the Dodgers. A Logan Forsythe two-base hit, his 17th of the year.
Logan Forsythe at portions of this year has been in a dreaded slump. It has affected his confidence. It took him to a place where he started to work harder and harder with Turner Ward and the hitting department, and now he's starting to reap some of the benefits, hitting some of the hardest balls of the year that have left his bat currently, and it might just pay off for these Dodgers in October.
Rich Hill coming up. Hill is 3 for 40. Into left. Oh, it's going to go to the wall. Forsythe will score. Rich Hill is third RBI of the year, his first extra base hit. The Dodgers and Giants are tied at 1.
Well, you know the t-shirts that have been made, Rich Hill rakes, because of the unorthodox approach at the plate that he has when he bunts, when he swings the bat. He went public and said, I've been working on my hitting, I want to get better, and this is it. This is better. Stays back, drives the ball to left center, weight to the firm front side. Did I ever think this year that I would break his hitting mechanics down and be complimenting him? Way to go, Rich.
Had 2 RBIs in one game in San Diego, and that's his third RBI of the year. The Dodgers and Giants, well, talk about once in a blue moon. Tied at 1. Chris Taylor. His last double was 10 years ago. He was due. Taylor took a called third strike in his first at-bat. Magic number is 1. The score is tied at 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 in the bottom of the third.
Some guys get to second base and take a selfie, some fist pump, some look to the bench and kind of cheer. Rich Hill got there and go, what just happened?
That was easy. Seager on deck. 2-1. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The irony of that shot, that look on Hill's face, he's one who shows emotion all the time out on the field. When he's
sure
pitching,
does.
He's fist pumping, he's kicking at himself, he's talking to himself. Gets a base hit, he's just kind of looking.
One of the most animated pitchers in the big leagues.
Apparently, except when he hits. 2-2.
Rich Hill after a double, after an RBI in one of the bigger games the Dodgers have played this year.
All right, fine. Next. Well, at least got 1 applause out of it. Dodgers and Giants tied at 1. Marlins and Diamondbacks tied at 7 in the 3rd inning in Arizona. Taylor with a ground ball to third. Hill not used to running. Well, that was not a good base running move. Hill retired. Still gets an ovation as he returns to the dugout.
Ball in front of you, you freeze. Ball behind you, you go to third. Rich broke that cardinal rule and took a runner out of scoring position, and that was himself.
Well, when you have a double once every 10 years,
yeah,
you let him slide a little bit. 2 out, tied at 1, and here's Seager, who's been struggling. Now remember, Taylor has stolen 16 out of 20. And Samardzic keenly aware of that. Nick Hundley has thrown out 11 of 40, 29%. Give Seager a couple of pitches to work with, then we'll perhaps be seeing Taylor run. Seager struggled through the road trip, 5 for 34. Of course, he's had the elbow issue, and then he fouled one off his foot. One ball, one strike. After tonight, 8 games left. Giants tomorrow and Sunday. The Padres are here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The Dodgers finish up next weekend in Colorado, then on to the postseason. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Seager, 20 home runs, 71 runs batted in, with 32 doubles. Taylor, a very fast runner at first. The count is 1-2. And this is an ideal running count for Taylor. 2 out. Worst case scenario is if he is thrown out, Seager leads off the next inning. Well, let's see what the Dodgers do. Not going. Seager takes outside, 2-2.
Two, 2 out is very much an action pitch. Pitcher doesn't want to get to 3-2 and have the runner running. All of a sudden, you score for sure on a double. So the 2-2 pitch is something you're usually looking to get the ball put in play. You don't want to try and just set up a 3-2 count. And now you have the runner moving, and you're in a worse spot.
On 2-2, there goes Taylor. Pitch is low. Throw is not in time. Goes into center field, and Taylor will go to third. Stolen base and an error.
Woo! 2-2, the Dodgers create their own action. Don't get a strike at home plate, but Chris Taylor swipes the bag, and when there's 90 feet more to accomplish and the ball's not around, you go take it.
Chris Taylor's 17th stolen base in 21 tries. Seager, the full count. Inside, ball 4. And it brings up Bellinger.
Number 35, Cody Bellinger.
Bellinger took a called third strike in his first at-bat. Cody, second in the league with 38 home runs. Takes inside. So the Dodgers, as a team, 246 with runners in scoring position this year. Bellinger 278, which is roughly his batting average with any and all situations. That's Bruce Strickman, the home plate umpire tonight, in his 15th big league season. The 1-1, low and outside, 2 balls and a strike. Of course, much has been made about Bellinger and the rookie home runs in the National League. Tied with Wally Berger and Frank Robinson. Robinson went on to hit 586 home runs. Wally Berger, 242. Bellinger to right. Pence going back at the wall, and it's gone. A 3-run shot for Cody Bellinger. And the Dodgers take a 4-1 lead. His 39th. Now one ahead of Messrs. Robinson and Berger.
That's a high pitch. They didn't want it there, and then Cody hit it high. Majestic fly ball to right center. He knew it was out as soon as he hit it. He was enjoying the view.
And so is everybody else. Granderson takes a strike, 1-1. One ahead of Robinson and Berger. And Granderson gets plunked, and he's hurting.
Always suspicious when someone hits a 3-run homer and the next guy gets one in the ribs. I'm sure the Dodgers are observing what's going on and going to take note. Fastball in, and it was way in. I don't know if it got him in the ribs or the tricep.
Granderson's talking to Posey as if to say, what did I do? Came up to bat at the wrong time is what he did. Now Ethier. Struck out swinging in his first at bat. One ball, no strikes to Andre Ethier. He's hit a couple of home runs upon his return.
Andre knows how the game is played, and I'm sure he's going to try and make Curtis Granderson feel a little bit better by reaching first base.
2 balls, no strikes.
A little extra motivation in this at bat.
Well, they're playing the Giants. Magic number is 1. They're at home. Friday night fireworks. Tommy Lasorda's 90th birthday. There's some energy in the yard tonight. 2 balls and 1 strike. Ozuna's just hit a home run for the Marlins. They now lead Greinke and the Diamondbacks 8-7 in the 4th inning. Greinke's still in there. Right into the glove of Panic. Ethier hit it on the button. And has nothing to show for his efforts, but Bellinger does his 39th home run of the year. Dodgers 4-1.
A 4-1 lead. Let's take a look now at the injury report brought to you by Curlin Job. Corey Seager back in there today, starting at the shortstop position, dealing with an elbow issue, but more importantly, after fouling that ball off of his right ankle, is good to go. Justin Turner out of the starting lineup today and actually out of the game altogether. Day-to-day, being under the weather with the stomach virus and, of course, that right thumb injury after being hit by a pitch yesterday. Brandon McCarthy is back, activated from the disabled list. Being on that disabled list since July, Josh Raven was actually placed on the 60-day DL with that abdominal strain. Good thing about Justin Turner is, though, guys, the x-rays are negative. Feeling under the weather today, but hopefully be back in there tomorrow.
Crawford leads off in the fourth. I had a pretty good idea the thumb wasn't too bad on the plane last night flying back from Philadelphia, 5 hours plus. Turner did not have any compression on the thumb at all, and today they don't feel too good, which has nothing to do with the thumb. 2 balls and no strikes to Brandon Crawford. Hundley on deck, Sandoval to follow. There's a strike, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
You hear Justin at the end of it go, "Aye." That hand has not felt good, and it doesn't feel any better after that.
3-1 to Crawford, and then Nate Lucero comes out, the trainer. And this is the fun part after you've been hit by a pitch. He goes looking for broken bones. Does this hurt? Yeah. Does that hurt? Yeah. Okay, but everything is still in one piece. And in the old days, when they just brought out that icing mechanism, which did nothing except make it hurt more. Three and 2 outside, a leadoff walk to Brandon Crawford.
Number 5, Nick Hundley.
Were they still spraying?
A little bit at the beginning of my career, a little bit. All it did was supposedly gave you the sensation that it was freezing the area, but I just think it was just another feeling to distract you from the pain.
Yeah, it hurts worse. And so then they come out and they want to make sure all the bones are where they're supposed to be. And in the case of Turner, they were. And here's Hundley, who swings and misses, 0-1.
Every spring, they always wanted to test our elbows to make sure the ligament was intact. The one that you always have to have replaced in Tommy John. And it would hurt to do the test. And I'm like, Doc, guys, I don't want you to test my elbow. I'll let you know if it starts hurting because your test hurts more than throwing a baseball.
It hurts when I do this. Then don't do this.
Well, we've got to make sure your elbow's stable. The ball will tell me if my elbow is stable enough to throw it.
1 ball, 1 strike, beginning the fourth. Dodgers 4-1. The Marlins have an 8-7 lead in Arizona in the 4th inning. And of course, if the Marlins win, it's icing on the cake for the Dodgers. Magic number being 1. Dodgers, of course, can take care of their own business. 1-2 to Hundley. Sandoval on deck.
Speaking of elbows, Joe Panik got hit on the elbow earlier tonight, and your teammates and even your coaches sometimes mess around with you, and he goes, "Oh, that's where it hurts." He goes, "Oh, right there?" He's trying to hurt it on purpose. Is that where he got you?
You mean where it's hideously discolored?
And yeah,
that must be the place.
The bruises did not come up that quick, so he's been hit there a few times.
Then he might want to think about one of those armadillo elbow pads, like Hundley uses.
Seeing them more and more.
Two and 2 are in the 4th inning. The Nationals lost in New York tonight, 8-7. So the Dodgers go 5 up in the loss column with 8 to play. So there's a sense that the Dodgers now, it's It's the ball at Times Square. It's going to come down. And they're going to win this thing. It's just how and when and what's going to look and feel like. It's taken a little longer than they expected. From 91 and 36 to 97 and 56.
You're right, Charlie. That ball is going to come down, and they are going to clinch. And I think what you would want to do most if you're Rich Hill now, with a 4-1 lead, there's no chance for all of a sudden possibly a walk-off because of the score. So he wants to keep this score the same. But, you know, if it ends up tied and you need to have Charlie Culberson pinch hit.
Been there, done that.
Have a walk-off win to have the Dodgers celebrate on time, as Vinny said. A moment Charlie will never forget. A moment Vinny will never forget. A moment Dodger fans will never forget.
Folklore hero and urban legend Charlie Culberson. Into short right. Utley can't quite get it. As Crawford arrives at second base. Crawford was in no man's land. First and second, one out. So Charlie Culberson has the big walk-off home run about a year ago. Final home game, of course, at Dodger Stadium. Final home game for Vin. Dodgers go to San Diego, and then we'll finish up in San Francisco. And San Diego, Culberson has the bat. And he asked Bo and I, do you think Vin would sign? We'll take care of it. So now it's the Saturday before the final game. We're at AT&T Park. First and second, one out. Sandoval fouls it back. And it's 0-1. We talked to Vin. Sure, bring him up. So it's about 11 o'clock in the morning. It's a 1 o'clock game. And Culberson is as nervous as a kid could possibly be. So he comes up, bat in hand. And Vin is equally as nervous about the moment because they will now be forever entwined. There are about 5 of us in the booth. And Charlie comes in and they give one another this wonderful hug. Charlie's got the bat in hand. And they talk for about maybe 10 minutes. Sandoval fouls it off. And you'll recall this time last year, Vin didn't have 30 seconds to breathe. Vin was the only human being that ever had a farewell tour that came to him. So now here's Culberson in the booth, bat in hand, and they're talking, and it's just this wonderful, raw, emotional day before Vin's last day. Sandoval to center, and Taylor's there. First out. And they're talking and talking and talking, and now it's getting closer and closer to game time. And Vin finally says to Charlie, would you like me to sign the bat? And Vin would just generally, with his wonderful signature, just write Vin Scully, but he wrote to Charlie, God bless you, Vin Scully. And it was this just wonderfully magical moment where here's this essentially a journeyman player, Charlie Culberson, who comes up with one of the big hits in Los Angeles Dodger history. And he goes on his merry way. Dodgers play. Now on Sunday in San Francisco, you may recall, Mac Williamson is the hitter now. Willie Mays comes into the booth to spend time with Vin. And on one day from Charlie Culberson to Willie Mays. Now Charlie's thinking, oh man, I'm in pretty good company. Hard ground ball to third, Forsythe, Utley, Bellinger. Upshot of it was, for 24 hours, Charlie Culberson, Vin Scully, and Willie Mays were together as one. Bellinger's 39th home run of the year. The Land Rover Performance Spotlight. He is now one of 6 Dodgers with at least 20 home runs this year. Of course, leads the pack with 39. You've got Puig and Taylor. Grandal. Grandal with his 20 home runs. Turner's got 20. And there's a strike. It's 1-1. Grandal flied to center in his first at-bat. Bellinger's three-run home run in the 4-run third. And the Dodgers leading it by 3. Grandal gets underneath it. Pence with a long run. Can't reach it. To put a bow on the Bellinger, or rather the Culberson home run and Vin and Willie Mays. Now, the first round of the playoffs, we're going to Washington. And as a kid, one of the great things my mom allowed me when I went off to college, I could have one drawer left in the house in which I grew up. Could put anything in it. I put my baseball cards. And I had a ton of old baseball cards, 50s and 60s. I had a bunch of Willie Mays cards. And I took the cards with me over the years. Here's the 2-2. Grandal to right. Pence is there. First out. I wasn't actually looking for a Willie Mays card. Just happened to go into my office closet. And damned if there wasn't a Willie Mays card just right on the desk. So I thought, all right, I'm going to bring it with me on the trip to give to Charlie. So we get on the airplane, and we have the same flight crew all the time. And I asked one of the flight attendants, you know Charlie Culberson? Yeah, he's in the back. And I put the card into an envelope. It may have been a 59 or 60 Willie Mays card. Utley with one out. Takes high, 1 ball, no strikes. Put it into an envelope. And she takes it back to him. Plane takes off, and we're 1,000,000 miles over Montana or someplace. Culberson comes up to my seat. And he's very emotional. Again, remember what last year was like. Vin's last year, the Culberson stuff. Charlie, I come to find out, has a huge baseball card collection. Who knew? So he comes up, and he's already got the card in a plastic casing. And so somewhere at home, he's got the Vin Scully signed baseball bat, which is still in a sanitary, because he doesn't want his kids touching it for the next 20 years or so. And a Willie Mays card. All because of that walk-off home run. Last home game that Vin did here at Dodger Stadium, and Utley skies to center. Those are the things, those little stories and anecdotes. What sets baseball apart, I think, from other sports?
Well, you play so many games, and you end up spending more time with your teammates and the organization that travels with you more than your family during the baseball season. So those things happen all throughout the game. And that's what happened even in Tommy's ceremony before the game, celebrating his 90th birthday. It's just waves of memories start coming back.
Forsythe, who doubled in his first at-bat, takes outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Tommy is 90. And a lovely ceremony in his honor prior to the game, including Commissioner Rob Manfred.
It was nice to see Fred Claire back in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And was one of the speakers to salute Tommy.
2 balls and 1 strike to Forsythe. Some pretty good years. Now 3-1 to Logan Forsythe. Meanwhile, in Arizona, Dodger fans are Marlins fans tonight, and the Marlins have a 9-7 lead in the top half of the 5th inning. They have knocked out Zach Greinke.
Literally.
From pillar to post.
That might be his worst outing of the year. He was in a peripheral battle on the edges of the Cy Young contest.
Well, here's Forsythe. 2 solid hits in a row tonight. The double to left, and now a single to center with 1 out.
On track to hit for the cycle. He's swinging the bat so well, and both of these balls have tremendous exit velocity. Samardzija has to duck. Can't tell when it comes back at you that quick how close it's going to be to your head. So you get out of the way of all of them.
So he's a triple and a home run away from the cycle.
Exactly. You got to walk before you run.
2 out. And Rich Hill, who doubled home a run in his first at bat. 3rd of the year. Samardzija will throw him out. That's going to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit. We'll go to the 5th. Dodgers 4-1. On. Get huge savings on the last of the 2017 Corollas.
That is a picture of a triumphant Clayton Kershaw, September 29, 2015, which he led the Los Angeles Dodgers to clinching in San Francisco with a complete game victory, 13 strikeouts, 1 walk, and a Kike Hernandez home run helped the Dodgers win that game 8-0.
Now, nearly a year later, the Dodgers a win away from their 5th consecutive National League Western Division title. Jeff Samardzija will lead it off. Dave Roberts, manager of the year last year. Might he be in for a repeat performance? Samardzija, not much of a hitter, struck out in his first at-bat. He's 6 for 61. He's been struck out 23 times. And it's 0-2. Hill, to this point, has struck out 5. He's walked 1. Marlins leading the Diamondbacks 9-7 in the 8th. Samardzija down on strikes. 6 strikeout for Hill. Talk about Greinke getting lit up in 4 innings, 8 runs and 9 hits, 89 pitches.
And that is probably going to be their wild card game starter. That doesn't give you a lot of confidence. So Samardzija struck out twice tonight
Here's Hernandez. A bunt base hit, a stolen base, scored a run. Dodgers 4-1, one out in the fifth. And a strike, 0-1 to Gorkys Hernandez. Starting in center field. Good looking breaking ball, and it's 0-2.
The landmark game for Rich Hill, as far as the short term is, was back August 23rd, of course, at Pittsburgh. The almost perfect game that he ended up getting the 1-0 loss in.
The 0-2. That is strikeout number 7.
Rich followed that game up, that it was so beautiful, with a clunker. But since then has been building a resume to really give you a lot of confidence. 6 innings, only 2 earned runs. 5 innings, only 2 earned runs. And his last start, 5 innings, only 1 earned run. And again tonight, throwing the ball really well.
Now Joe Panik, 0 for 1 and a black and blue mark on his right elbow, having been hit by a pitch back in the 3rd inning. Well, that elbow now is wearing a protective pad. It hurts when I do this, and don't do this anymore. 2 balls and no strikes.
Is that protection from Rich Hill, or is it protection from just his teammates messing with him, coming over here and going, oh, is that where it hit you?
Showing no ill effects on that swing. It's 2-1 to Joe Panik. 2 out, nobody on in the 5th. Dodgers are sitting pretty. Leading by 3 with a magic number of 1. Three balls and a strike. Buster Posey on deck. From a big old curve to an 88-mile-an-hour fastball. It's a full count with 2 out. Each team with 4 hits. The big difference, a Bellinger 3-run home run is 39. We'll do it again. As the Giants sputter to the finish line, Panik has been hot. He's 25 for his last 51. Now he's got 26 in 52.
First baseman, Buster Posey.
Brings up Buster Posey, who singled home Gorkys Hernandez back in the 1st inning, the Giants' only run of the game. For Posey, his 63rd run batted in. In but his 8th big league season, Buster Posey, you can make a pretty compelling case, is Hall of Fame bound. One of 5 catchers to win an MVP award. That was 2012. The other 4, Johnny Bench, Roy Campanella, Ernie Lombardi, and Gabby Hartnett. Good company. First player since Frank Robinson to win the MVP, batting title, and World Series in the same year. Into center. Drifting back is Taylor. Got it. Time now to go back to the studio for deeper coverage brought to you by T-Mobile. Don't miss a pitch with America's best unlimited network.
Day at Dodger Stadium, and you could win some fantastic prizes during this final game of the San Francisco Giants series here. It begins at 1:10. For tickets and a list of prizes that include a pair of 2018 season tickets and a trip to spring training, visit Dodgers.com/fan appreciation.
Top of the order for the Dodgers as we head to the bottom of the fifth. Chris Taylor fouls it back, 0-1. Taylor took a called third strike in his first at-bat. But aboard on a fielder's choice. Stole second, went to third on a throw, and after Seager, who's on deck, walked, Cody Bellinger a 3-run home run. Dodgers 4-1 beginning the bottom of the fifth. No balls and 2 strikes. Taylor at .292 and a .360 on base percentage. Takes high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 26th man on a 25-man roster when the Dodgers broke camp at the end of March. And now the everyday center fielder and leadoff hitter. 2 balls, 2 strikes. When you think about the Dodgers and their season and when they broke camp, there was no Chris Taylor and there was no Cody Bellinger. Bellinger came up due to injuries, and they thought, okay, he'll be here for about 10 games and then send him back down. Into short right. Pence can't reach it, and either can Posey. So the Dodgers leadoff hitter and cleanup hitter didn't leave camp. Dave Roberts knew they'd eventually show up. They figured Bellinger maybe September, and Taylor when some injury would take place. Well, it all happened a whole lot faster, and it changed the whole dynamic of the Dodger lineup.
They were on the edges, but now they are part of the nucleus.
That's exactly right. The 1-2. Taylor takes high. It's 3-2. And Taylor with 21 home runs. 3-2. The other thing about Taylor, we saw it in Philadelphia. He can play all over the lot. He can play second base. He can play shortstop. Of course, center field. And yesterday, after Turner got hit in the hand, Taylor started the day in center, then came in to play second base, went back to play center field later in the game. As he stays alive.
The great thing about Chris Taylor, as this year has progressed and he has had more and more success and been more and more consistent, the work ethic has not changed at all. His head has not changed size. He is as humble and as hard a worker as he was when he was battling to get on this team.
Well, there's going to be a 10th pitch of this at-bat. And now the Giant bullpen is beginning to move around a bit. Josh Osich. Into short right. Hits. Always hustling. First out of the 5th inning.
Shortstop, Corey Seager.
Hunter Pence plays hard no matter where they are in the standings, has never had a lack of effort on a playing field, always somebody who is fun to watch and to respect. Very nice play.
Astros, Phillies, Giants, Hunter Pence. Now Corey Seager stepping in. Seager popped to third, walked, and came around on the Bellinger home run back in the 3rd inning. No balls and 1 strike.
Corey Seager in the past could have a rough game or two in a row. He could strike out 3 out of 4 at bats, and you would not worry about him. He just seemed like he was still going to hit no matter what.
You were saying.
And this was the first time in a long time that I've started to worry about him. And hopefully that hit will start to get him on track.
Time now for the Morongo Casino slow-mo cam.
Cody Bellinger put him on top by 3 with that swing. And the Dodger bench, and especially the guy in the middle there, Yasiel Puig, had a great reaction to that home run.
So for Bellinger, 39 home runs, 94 runs batted in. Well, with 8 games left after tonight, a 40 home run, 100 RBI season is not out of the realm of possibility, not by any long stretch at all. Takes inside, 2 balls and no strikes.
That bat has been through some wars. He hasn't broken that one in a while. There are a lot of hits and foul balls off of that thing.
A lot of balls that have been dented, however. 3 balls and no strikes to Cody Bellinger with 1 out. And Curtis Granderson on deck.
Guys have BP bats and they have gamers. I would say he does not use that bat in batting practice. That is one of the gamers that he has cherished.
And he takes a 4-pitch walk. 1st and 2nd for the Dodgers in the 5th. Got Granderson coming up, then Ethier, a couple of lefties. We showed you Josh Oshitz just a couple of minutes ago, and that is the direction that Bruce Bochy is going. So Marge's night is done, and the Dodgers sitting with a 4-1 lead. Tommy, of course, grew up outside Philadelphia. Safe. His 90th birthday.
Next Friday on an all-new episode of Backstage Dodgers, go behind the scenes of Tommy Lasorda's 90th birthday celebration as players past and present honor him here at Chavez Ravine. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers next Friday after the post-game show, only on Sportsnet LA.
Josh Osich, his 51st appearance, a .658 ERA. And he's facing Granderson and then Ethier. Switch hitter Grandal and Utley, another left-handed hitter. First and second with one out. Dodgers hoping to blow this thing open once and for all. But the celebrations begin early because in Arizona, the Marlins have a 9-7 lead over the Diamondbacks in the top half of the sixth. Go figure. I think you talk to the Dodgers, they were looking really more at Washington and how the Nationals were creeping up for the best record and home field advantage in the postseason. But the reality is the race in the Western Division. The Dodgers are able to pick up 90 feet of real estate. Seager goes to third and Bellinger to second.
Corey Seager read the wild pitch very well, and then Cody Bellinger read Corey Seager very well, because you don't move up from behind unless the guy in front of you is moving.
So the Nationals lost tonight in New York to the Mets. Dodgers are 5 up in the loss column. Giants bring the infield about halfway. They're not skin tight. Granderson has struck out, got hit in the ribs. 2-1. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Andre Ethier is on deck. One out, second and third. Granderson down on strikes. That's the second out of the fifth. Ethier's been called back, and Kike Hernandez going to pinch hit for him.
Now Dave Roberts and the Dodgers win a couple ways here. Kike Hernandez hitting from the right side against the lefty, and then I would think if Andre Ethier does start in the playoffs, that there will be a defensive replacement, probably Kike Hernandez, if the Dodgers are up late. So he improves the defense and gets the righty up there.
Kike, of course, from Puerto Rico. His family is fine. He says his island has been decimated. So he's got a lot going on the last week or so. Kike Hernandez, his grandfather, had just passed away. But back to work. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 out. And it's 1-1.
That was a pitch right there that Kike would like to have back, a hanging breaking ball in the inner half. You can see his numbers this year, those splits. He has been much better against lefties, and a lot of times when he gets these pitches this year, he hammers them.
And that's why he was pinch hitting for Ethier. 2 out, 2 on, 4-1 Dodgers, bottom of the 5th. Grandal on deck. 2 balls and a strike. So Rich Hill That's a 4-1 lead. He'd like a couple of more runs.
And they're walking around in the dugout trying to not get stiff, keep his body and his core temperature up, practicing a few deliveries, staying loose.
And others standing clear. 2-2 to Kike Hernandez. We'll do it again.
Rich will have to continue to stay loose. This inning almost 15 minutes long now. The older you get and the more you have pitched, the harder and harder it gets when they give you long rests. You appreciate them because they're usually scoring for you, but you'd like to get back out there once you start to get a little tight.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Seager at third, Bellinger at second. Osich on in relief of Samardzija. And the 2-2. Now 3-2. Kike working the count perfectly. Three balls, 2 strikes, and 2 out. That was quite an at-bat for Kike Hernandez. So the bases are loaded for Grandal. And for Bruce Bochy, this year can't end fast enough. Grandal 0 for 2 tonight, fly to center twice.
You can see Dave Roberts' hand all over this, but really his mind. In some situations he plays for October, in other situations he plays to rest people. And that's the division mentally that the Dodgers have had for a long, long time since they built that huge lead. The theory of being ready, being healthy, and making sure everybody is going to be ready when the most important games start.
1-0 to Grandal. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Dodgers have been playing with house money since August 26th, and they spent entirely too much of it.
Fortunately, they had a very big savings account.
But trying to get that pilot light flickering again. Here's the 1-1. Grandal takes inside, 2-1. Dodgers come off that 5-5 road trip. They've lost 20 of 26. Having said that, they're still 41 games over 500. So it's a season, if you can explain it, good luck to you.
The team with the best record in baseball just wants to start playing like the best team in baseball. They know they're capable of it. They have done it. They just need to do it here on the short term.
2-1, bases loaded. Grandal takes high and away, 3-1. With Chase Utley on deck.
In this situation, a walk is not as good as a hit, but for Yasmani Grandal and his confidence, I think it is.
A walk knocks in a run. 3-1. Three and 2.
I hope Kike Hernandez loosened his legs up before he got called on to pinch hit, as it's going to be 3-2 and 2 out, and he's going to be running. And if there's one in the gap, he's got a ways to go.
Of course, with a full count and 2 out, the runners will have a head start. There they go. Here it comes. Call strike 3, and that'll end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 2 walks, 3 left. 4-1 Dodgers as we go to the 6th. offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com. And by Carl's Jr., the 2 for $2.50 sausage and egg made from scratch biscuit. Now at Carl's Jr. Dodgers take a 4-1 lead in the top half of the 6th inning. Bellinger's 3-run home run in the 3rd is the difference in the ball game. Kike Hernandez, who came in to pinch hit for Andre Ethier, remains in the game in left. Hunter Pence, Brandon Crawford, and Nick Hundley will hit in the 6th inning. Hill has given up a run and 5 base hits. 87 pitches through 5. And Pence makes it easy for him here in the 6th. First ball swinging, and there's Seager.
Shortstop Brandon Crawford.
Here's Crawford. Grew up in Northern California, played at UCLA, and playing for his hometown Giants. One of the game's best defensive shortstops. Remember years ago when he first came up, I asked Bruce Bochy, can he hit enough to stay at the big league level? He said if he can hit 240 with the glove he has, he can play for 20 years. One ball and 1 strike to Brandon Crawford. Career 252 as he takes low and outside, 2-1. Bottom of the 6th in Arizona. Marlins 9, Diamondbacks 8. In a game in which Zach Greinke started and didn't hang around long. 2-2 to Crawford with Hundley on deck. Rich Hill has just struck out his 8th hitter tonight.
Catcher Nick Hundley.
Well, a lot going on at Dodger Stadium tonight before the game. Big ceremonies celebrating Tommy Lasorda's 90th birthday. Big crowd to watch it. Big crowd here, hoping for a Dodger win in their 5th consecutive Western Division title. So far, so good. Hundley 1 for 2. Your assessment of Hill tonight?
Well, a bumpy start there in the 1st that frustrated him, but he did not let it distract him. And I love the fact that he is throwing from multiple angles again, because it tells you how much confidence he has in the repeatability of his delivery, and feeling very confident that he knows what he's doing.
8 strikeouts and a walk. He scattered 5 hits and has a 3-run lead to work with. That is the 9th strikeout of the game for Rich Hill. Nothing across. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's the Dodgers 4 and the Giants 1.
Earlier today, honoring Tommy Lasorda, the Carl's Cam. That's the most beloved manager in all of Dodger history, with the current manager of the year, Dave Roberts, and a nice video tribute on the Jumbotron, narrated by the Vin Scully. Our own Oral Hershiser doing an amazing job emceeing the event. You have former general manager Fred Clare, Joe Lasorda and his daughter. Just a tremendous night honoring Tommy Lasorda, celebrating his 90th birthday. A great pregame ceremony, and what better of a present for Tommy Lasorda, guys, than to get a Dodger victory tonight and to clinch the NL West for the 5th straight year.
A lot of the Dodgers have a 4-1 lead as we go to the bottom of the 6th. And Chase Utley will be leading it off. Utley is 0 for 2. 4 runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers, a run and 5 hits for San Francisco. Osich delivers a strike, and it's 0-1. Diamondbacks hitting in the bottom half of the 6th inning in Arizona. The Marlins leading it 9-8. Utley takes a strike, and it's 0-2. Well, they're racing to the finish line. Dodgers and Giants, and the Diamondbacks and the Marlins. Dodgers win. It really doesn't matter what Arizona does, but would add to the theater and the drama and Hollywood. The Dodgers would win on their own terms, on their own home field.
The game in Arizona started a half hour before the game here at Chavez Ravine. But when they have 17 runs in their game and Rich Hill is pitching a gem, this game has almost caught that game as far as pace.
Well, we've got the commissioner of baseball here tonight, Rob Manfred, for the Tommy Lasorda birthday ceremonies. Talk about pace of game. Two balls, 2 strikes to Utley, with Forsythe on deck and Hill to follow. Although the Dodger bullpen now going to work. Utley is done. And that's the first out of the bottom of the 6th.
Rich Hill up on the railing, as we saw. And now Tony Watson warming. Rich looked awfully relaxed, like he had been removed from the game and has already moved into his conversations with his teammates. Austin Barnes and Clayton Kershaw holding court with Rich.
A job well done tonight by the 37-year-old veteran Rich Hill. Forsythe has stung the ball twice tonight. A double in his first at-bat, a single in his second. And there's our man, Charlie Culberson, to pinch hit.
One thing you noticed when we took the shot of Rich Hill over there on the bench next to Clayton Kershaw is Pedro Baez. And Dave Roberts is giving him a few days off from actually watching the game, not in the bullpen, but there with his teammates on the bench. Get a fresh perspective on what's going on here going into October, so that he can still be an integral part of the bullpen as he tries to climb out of his personal slump. Managers have a tendency to do that with guys in the lineup when they're in slump. Hey, let's give you just a mental day, and Dave doing that for a bullpen piece.
We've talked about how August 25th was one side of the mirror, August 26th and beyond the other side. For Baez, his earned run average on August the 25th was 186. Since then, 1421. Walking through the looking glass. Forsythe, 1-2. Into left, but Williamson is there.
I know it's an out, Charlie, but it's an out to left field, and I think this is the first game I've ever seen Logan Forsythe hit the ball hard 3 times and getting the head of the bat out with some bat speed. His work is really starting to pay off.
Charlie Culberson.
Urban legend and folk hero, Charlie Culberson. Spent the entire season at Oklahoma City. Takes outside, 1 ball and no strikes. So Watson warms in the Dodger pen. Dodgers lead by 3, 2 out in the bottom of the 6th. 1-1 to Culberson. Hit .250 at Oklahoma City this year. 4 home runs, 32 runs batted in, walked 26 times. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's now 1-2.
Charlie, the father of 3 beautiful children, all under the age of 5. The other night, my wife Dana offered to watch all 3 kids after the game if the players were going to stick around and wait to see for a possible celebration. The Dodgers lost. There was not going to be a celebration. I got back to the hotel, Charlie, and she goes, I am so sad you guys lost, but in some ways I'm okay with it. And I go, why? Well, I volunteered to watch all 3 kids in the room.
Babysitting services not required.
If we had to stay up till 3 in the morning to figure out if we were going to win or not. I said, you did what? She goes, oh, don't worry. It's okay. We would have been able to do it. I said, yes, you're right.
What you mean we, Kimosabe? 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 out. We're in the bottom half of the 6th. And they're in the bottom of the 6th in Arizona. Marlins 9, D-backs 8, 3-2 to Culberson, down on strikes, and that will end the inning. We'll go to the 7th. Dodgers 4, Giants 1. A good night for Rich Hill.
Our Arco top tier plays of the game, and it's going to feature Rich Hill. Yes, it was with the arm on the mound. Fastballs, curveballs, 9 strikeouts, but on the field also in the batter's box. And I promise you, if they clinch tonight, that won't be his expression.
Here's Tony Watson, and while talking about how the hitting and the pitching has gone south after the 26th of August, don't pin the wrap on Tony Watson. In the last month, his earned run average is .87. And so here he is to pitch the 7th inning. And the first hitter will be the Panda. Pablo Sandoval is 0 for 2. He has struck out and he's flied to center. (4-1) beginning the 7th. There's a strike, 0-1. Friday night fireworks show after the game, and the Dodgers hoping to supply some fireworks before all of that. Dodgers are 9 outs away. One ball, one strike to Pablo Sandoval.
You mentioned Tony Watson's minuscule ERA since coming over here. Dodger fans still getting to know him. He does it with a fastball, a slider, and a changeup.
He and the other left-hander, Tony Cingrani, came over at the trade deadline. Cingrani's ERA from August 26 until tonight is .9. So the two lefties that they got at the deadline have done great work. One ball, two strikes. And it's 2-2.
That's quite the left-handed contingent. If you consider Curtis Granderson, he finds his streaky self. That could be some great additions.
Two and two. Sandoval awaits. Taylor, one out.
Well, fans, head to Dodger Stadium tomorrow before the boys in blue host the Giants for La Gran Fiesta, brought to you by Spectrum and Coca-Cola. There'll be music, food, autographs, and fun for the entire family starting at 2 o'clock. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/Viva.
Now Mac Williamson stepping in. Williamson 0 for 2, struck out and bounced into a double play. Giants are running the first. A Posey single. Dodgers 4. In the third, a 3-run home run for Bellinger. And after that, the story has essentially been told by Rich Hill. Inside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Chris Iannetta has had quite a night for the Diamondbacks. He's just hit a grand slam. They lead 12-9 over the Marlins in the bottom of the 6th. Iannetta has knocked in 8 of the 12 runs. Two balls and 2 strikes. Former Dodger Tim Fedorovich, FedEx, in the on-deck circle to pinch hit. Chris Iannetta is having himself a career year, and he's having a career night.
He's always been a good catcher, a good manager of a staff, but this year, wow, he has really turned his offensive production around.
Williamson will see another pitch.
This is all after taking a ball in the face, Chris Iannetta. What a tough young man he is.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Watson missing outside. Count is full. Fedorovich on deck. Now Williamson steps out for a moment. Off the glove of Bellinger. So used to seeing him make that play, but that had a world of topspin on it. And Williamson is aboard.
Might have been a tough hop here at the end. You know, the one off the plate creates a lot of spin, and then that last bounce is very unpredictable. You try to react to it. Almost timed it up with the glove.
Hitter number 37, Kelvin Thomas.
Goes as a base hit. Well, Fedorovich called back, and now Kelby Tomlinson is going to hit instead. Dodgers lead by 3. Well, the Dodgers were in San Francisco. It's hard to believe that road trip began in San Francisco. From San Francisco, there's Josh Fields. To Washington to Philadelphia. Tomlinson made life miserable on the Dodgers. Has 9 hits in his last 17 at-bats against left-handed pitching. And here is Watson delivering. 0-2. Tomlinson is a pinch hitter this year. Is .339. It's high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Corquis Hernandez is on deck. Into right, long run for Granderson, just foul. So Tomlinson continues to be a nuisance against left-handed pitching. Tomlinson, born in Oklahoma, lives in Kansas. A 12th round pick in 2011 by the Giants. Watson misses high, 2-2. Josh Fields warming up in the bullpen, and he appears warm and ready. Corquis Hernandez is on deck. And the 2-2. Got him.
It was a battle, but Tony Watson won it. Let's take a look at the Audi pitch cast right here. Fastball with really good tail. Sometimes he will cut his fastball, ride it in on righties. That one, he ran away from him.
And now 2 out. And Hernandez, a bunt base hit, and since then he's struck out twice. I guess the text went out. The iPhone lights are flickering around Dodger Stadium. Who's the first one every night?
I don't know how it starts, but it's about as many candles as you would need on Tommy Lasorda's birthday cake.
And a big pair of lungs to blow it out. And then when they run out of gas and they run out of power on their phone,
Yeah.
what are they going to do?
I shouldn't have done the light at Dodger Stadium.
It seemed like a good idea at the time. 1-1 with 2 out. Yorkis Hernandez. At 2:52. One ball, one strike. It's outside. Mentioned earlier, this year of the home run, more home runs have been hit in Major League Baseball than ever before. We're going to end up with well over 6,000 before it's all done. The Giants, their starting center fielder hasn't hit one. Usually center fielder is your bruiser, who's going to hit a bundle. Well, that's just one of the many reasons why the Giants have struggled this year. 60-93. Their ace, Madison Bumgarner, of course, hurt most of the year, has 3 wins. Matt Moore had difficulty getting out of his way most of the year. They were thinking that Mark Melancon was going to have a bunch of saves. That hasn't happened. Matt Cain has been unable. The 3-1 is now 3 balls and 2 strikes. You know how many 10-game winners the Giants have on their staff? None. Three balls, 2 strikes, and 2 out. Mac Williamson will get the head start. There he goes. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 4. Joe Panik coming up, and he'll be the tying run at the plate.
Second baseman number 12, Joe Panik.
Rick Honeycutt on the phone, making sure everyone down in the bullpen is ready, and that is Josh Fields.
And here comes Dave Roberts. And there goes Tony Watson. And in comes Josh Fields. Well, let's see. Roberts going to stay with him. Lefty against lefty. Buster Posey on deck.
Matchups in September get a little harder to choose because the rosters are so big. Sometimes you really can't have the opposing manager run out of players.
Well, the Dodgers have 40. Every space has been taken. Brandon McCarthy off the DL today. Now Panik takes a strike. It's 0-1. Josh Raven placed on the disabled list. No balls, 1 strike, 2 out, 2 on. 7th inning. Panik, 10 home runs and 50 runs batted in. Grounds it slowly to the right side. Forsythe picks it up and throws him out. 7th inning stretch. The Dodgers 6 outs away from their 5th consecutive National League Western Division title. brought to you by BMW. See a Southern California BMW Center today for exceptional offers or visit SoCalBMW.com. As we head to the bottom half of the 7th inning, Dodgers 6 outs away from their 5th consecutive National League Western Division title. Reyes Maranta, who was called up 3 weeks ago. This is his 5th appearance at the big league level. He's out in the Dominican Republic. 19 games at AA, 13 games at AAA. And Dodger fans are getting ready to celebrate. Chris Taylor, first pitch into short center. 1 gone in the 7th. And Seager coming up.
Shortstop, number 5, Corey Seager.
Seager has popped out. He's walked, scored a run, and singled to center. Hit .309 last year, .298 this year. One of a half dozen Dodgers with at least 20 home runs. Here's a strike, and it's 0-1. So Seager and Bellinger hitting back-to-back tonight. Turner out of the game. Got hit on the thumb yesterday, but that's not why he's not playing tonight. He's got a virus. He's got a bug of some sort. As they used to say in Brooklyn, he wasn't feeling too good. The thumb not an issue. Toward the Giant dugout, it's 1-2.
Could Dave Roberts think about having this lineup, and then when you add Justin Turner, putting him in the 4 hole behind Cody Bellinger? Taylor, Seager, Bellinger, Turner. Could maybe solve the problem of protecting Cody's bat. Because there are plenty of lefties then you could put behind Justin. You could put Granderson, you could put Grandal, you could put Ethier.
The 5 spot has been the Bermuda Triangle for the Dodger offense this year. Collectively, they're hitting about .210.
One of the things you gain if you flip Bellinger and Turner is that Bellinger runs much better than Justin, would score on more of Justin's doubles, would maybe steal a base. And if you walk Cody to get to Justin, Justin never has panicked in key situations and in RBI situations, has been one of the Dodgers' most consistent hitters with runners in scoring position.
Well, Puig has been hitting much better over the last 6 weeks, and he certainly is a viable option. He's most of the years been batting 8th, and he's really stood out. Getting the night off tonight. That's Okoye Dixon next to him. One ball, 1 strike. Bellinger tonight, a 3-run home run in the 3rd, his 39th. Most by a National League rookie. 1 ahead of Frank Robinson and Wally Berger. Berger, one of those players who got off to the great rookie year and had a solid career. Certainly not a Frank Robinson type. Let's see where Bellinger in his career goes. See where this one goes. Pence and Gorkys Hernandez will make the catch, and that'll end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the 8th. Dodgers 4, Giants 1. Is brought to you by the LA County Fair. The Do Your Dare at the LA County Fair. Now through Sunday, September 24th at the Fairplex in Pomona. Buy tickets at lacountyfair.com today. You look at that trophy and you think back to 1988. And the Dodgers in pursuit of that trophy, with Josh Fields pitching the 8th inning. Tony Watson, 1 hit, 1 walk when he pitched the 7th.
Dave Roberts has been very good about getting guys that have had rough outings through this bullpen slump right back out there. And yesterday in Philadelphia, Josh had a rough one, but Dave Roberts put him right back into the fire and getting him on track.
And he begins with Buster Posey here in the 8th. If the Dodgers can get through this 8th inning unscathed, then they're not going to have to worry about Posey, Pence, and Crawford in the 9th. And they will have a fellow named Kenley Jansen who can attend to the details. So this is a big inning for Fields. No balls and 2 strikes to Buster Posey. Posey's in good company. First player since Frank Robinson to win the MVP, the batting title, and the World Series in the same year. The others include Joe DiMaggio, Stan Musial, Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle, Dick Groat, Frank Robinson, and Buster Posey. Eight years into his big league career, he's already got a compelling case for the Hall of Fame. One and two, Posey leading off in the 8th. Into right center. And that is Granderson.
Well, fans, here's your chance to have a slice of blue heaven. Join the 2018 Dodger family by signing up now for the season seat or mini plan wait list. Registered fans will be contacted by a Dodger season ticket representative on a first come first served basis. Visit Dodgers.com/season tickets or call 866 Dodgers today.
One out in the 8th. Pence is 0 for 3. $51,159 in attendance. They've already celebrated Tommy Lasorda's 90th birthday. They're looking to celebrate a Western Division title in 5 outs. Brandon Crawford on deck. Bellinger. 4 outs.
Shortstop number 35, Brandon Crawford.
Now Crawford has a hit, a walk, and he's been struck out. As Fields retires the first 2 hitters in the 8th. Crawford with 14 home runs. Fouls it off, and it's 0-1. Nick Hundley on deck. The Dodgers 9-7 this year against the Giants. San Francisco beat the Dodgers in 2016 and 2015, 11 games to 8, as Crawford pokes a single to left with 2 out. In fact, since
Pitcher number 5, Nick
2012, the Dodgers are 51-58 against San Francisco. Puig, one of 5 Dodger players on the roster. When the Dodgers began this run of what will be 5 Western Division titles in a row. And that's going to be caught by Utley, and that's going to end the 8th. The Dodgers 3 outs away from their 5th consecutive Western Division title.
The Dodgers will do the same if they can hold on to this lead and win their 5th straight division title. Coming up next, Access Sportsnet Dodgers, brought to you by your Southern California Nissan dealers. John and Jerry and Ned and Nomar and all of us will have the entire celebration for you right here on Sportsnet LA. Right now, the Dodgers with a 4-1 lead, 3 outs remaining, guys. As
we head to the bottom half of the 8th inning, Derek Law is now on in relief for the Giants. And Curtis Granderson will be leading it off. Kenley Jansen warming up in the Dodger bullpen. Granderson has struck out twice tonight, been hit by a pitch, fouls it off to the left, and it's 0-1. Law on 0-1, delivers high and away. One ball, 2 strikes to Curtis Granderson. Jansen will be in search of his 40th save of the year. Panic at second base. 1 out in the 8th. Looking ahead to the 9th, Sandoval, Williamson,
fielder, number 14,
and a pinch hitter for the Giants. So it was good work for Fields to get Posey, Pence, and Crawford out of the way in the 8th. Kike Hernandez, his 2nd at-bat of the night. He pinch hit for Ethier in the 5th inning and walked. Sandoval. 2 out.
It looks like there's going to be a huge silver lining to the long winning streak and then the long losing streak of these Dodgers, Charlie. It's going to happen at home on Tommy Lasorda's birthday on a Friday night, fireworks night.
Harmonic convergence.
Absolutely unbelievable, the struggles to find the winning ways again, but it might just work out perfect for the Dodger fans.
Five Dodger players, and Hill was terrific tonight, were on the team 2013 that began this 5-season run. You saw Kershaw, Kenley Jansen warming up in the bullpen, Adrian Gonzalez, Ethier, Puig. Ryu was on the roster, but he was on the disabled list that year. And one coach, Rick Honeycutt.
Quite a run for those guys.
Grandal on 3-0. 3 balls, 1 strike. Dave Roberts, manager of the year last year, as the winningest team in baseball this year. And Grandal to first. Posey with the underhanded flip to Law. And now we go to the 9th. The Dodgers are 3 outs away from popping the bubbly. By Cody Bellinger in the 3rd. His 39th of the year is giving the Dodgers a 4-1 lead that they currently enjoy, taking it into the 9th inning with Kenley Jansen on in relief. And this crowd is already going crazy. Jansen in search of his 40th save, 102 strikeouts, only 7 walks this year. Yasiel Puig takes over in right. And a crowd of better than 51,000. Poised to explode like champagne bottles will in the Dodger clubhouse in perhaps a few minutes. Oh, P.S. It's fireworks night.
Like Rich Hill started this game knowing he had a chance to put them into this locker room with the champagne ice down and popping. It will be a very emotional 40th save for Kenley Jansen if he gets the job done right here.
They brought that champagne with them on the road. They didn't expect to bring it back to Dodger Stadium, but it's on ice and it's ready. Sandoval is 0 for 3. Dodgers lead 4-1 in the ninth. Up high, 1 ball, no strikes. In the 8th inning in Arizona, the Diamondbacks lead the Marlins 12-10. 3 outs from now, it won't matter. Pablo Sandoval leading it off in the 9th. Into right. Puig going back, and it's gone. Pablo Sandoval with a home run, keeping the Giants' hopes alive. It's 4-2.
It hasn't been easy to get the magic number down to 1. And Pablo Sandoval is saying, I'm not going to let you get it to 0 yet. Not yet.
Denard Span is now going to pinch hit for Mac Williamson. So it's 4-2. Dodgers 4, Giants 2. Span takes high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Jarrett Parker in the on-deck circle to pinch hit. The leadoff home run for Sandoval in the 9th. Span takes high, 2-1. Jansen surrenders his 5th home run of the year. Span takes a strike, 2-2. Sandoval's 4th home run of the season. The 2-2. Got him! First out of the 9th.
One down, 2 to go. Kenley Jansen records this one with a slider. Buckles Span's knees and brings the Dodger fans to their feet.
1 gone, Parker pinch hitting. He can hit him a long way. Takes a strike, 0-1. Austin Slater is in the on-deck circle. Now let me correct that. It's Ryder Jones. A ball and a strike to Jarrett Parker. It's getting close. 1-2. One out in the ninth. Parker lives to see another pitch. Curtis Granderson. Jansen on 1-2. Strike three, 2 out. Dodgers 1 out away.
One strikeout with a breaking ball. Another one with the patented cutter right there.
They're getting ready. Ryder Jones is all that separates the Dodgers from the National League Western Division title. Outside and low, 1 ball and no strikes. Yu Darvish photographing the moment. And so is he. Two out in the ninth. Dodgers 4, Giants 2. 1-1. One and one to Jones. 1-2. One strike away. One and two. Jansen to Jones. And for the 5th consecutive year, the Dodgers are the champions of the National League West. This year, a smooth flight, but a bumpy landing. They're champions of the West once again. The best in the West again. It's euphoria, it's relief, a sense of satisfaction, a journey that had its ebbs and flows this year. Maybe the biggest win of the year, not tonight, but when they ended their 11-game losing streak against the Giants in San Francisco. That was when the Dodgers could begin to exhale. The road trip, they went 5-5. They knew Just one win at home could get the job done, and tonight they got the job done.
All year they have put on a great show. Over 3.5 million people have come through these turnstiles to date to watch this fantastic team. And now they move on for sure to bring more joy, hopefully, to these great fans.
Now the Dodgers simply have to wait to see who they will be playing on Friday the 6th at Dodger Stadium.
Well, Charlie, they've been to the postseason 8 times in the last 12 years. It's their 16th National League West crown, and they are just as happy as the other 15.
Andre Ether's been down this road before. Charlie Culberson, Alex Verdugo, Tony Cingrani, Adrian Gonzalez, his role entirely different now. Kike Hernandez and Dave Roberts. So Dave Roberts, the manager of the year last year in the National League. His team with the best record in baseball. Kenley Jansen with his 40th save. And the Dodgers with their 98th win.
This string began in 2013 with a jump in the pool in Arizona. In 14, here at Dodger Stadium beating the Giants. In 15, San Francisco on a Kershaw one-hitter. And in 16, at Dodger Stadium again, Culberson's home run.
Alana and Dave.
All right, Charlie, thanks very much. Dave Roberts, the manager of the year in 2016. Why not 2017? With what this team has done, you promised about 2.5 weeks ago that your team would win the division. It is the 5th straight NL West title. Congratulations, you actually did it.
Hey, this is for you, Tommy, wherever you're at. Happy birthday from all the players, the staff, and all these Dodger fans. Tommy, happy birthday.
On Tommy Lasorda's 90th birthday, you guys clinched the 5th straight division title. This is a group that has been tested. You came out of the gates on fire. You had amazing runs throughout the season. You've had amazing downs throughout the season as well. You are division champs. You thought about that group of guys that you believed in the entire season that got the job done.
It's a special group of guys that never wavered, stayed focused, and been through some adversity. Understand that there's little victories every year that we have to celebrate, and tonight we're going to celebrate tonight.
You said to me earlier today you didn't need to do it tonight. You wanted to do it tonight. You had a veteran pitcher in Rich Hill driving in a double for the first time in 10 years. He gets a double. You get Cody Bellinger with his 39th home run of the year. So you have the veteran and the rookie getting it done. Just speak to the core group of these guys.
I can't say enough about these guys. You've got the young Cody Bellinger, just so all that youthful enthusiasm, hitting home runs. You've got Clayton Kershaw. You got Rich Hill, the salty veteran, and everybody in between. So it's a special group of guys, and we have a lot of work to do. This is just the beginning.
Kenley Jansen picks up his 40th save of the year. What can you say about your closer?
I love the big fella. California Love's my favorite song, so it's only fitting that he gets the baseball to close this division out.
Finally, Dave, what do you want to say to these fans that have believed in you guys since the beginning?
Fans, we love you from myself, the players, the staff. You guys are the best fans in all the sports. Thank you.
Not only is Dave Roberts the manager of the year last year and an amazing producer, you do this on Tommy Lasorda's 90th birthday. They clinched the 5th straight division title. Go with your team. Go with your team. 5th straight division title. You can watch the entire celebration right here on the Jumbotron. Sportsnet LA will have it all for you. Perhaps the team comes out and celebrates with you guys. What can you say about the 2017 National League West champions? All right, Charlie, let's get it back upstairs to you. They did it again, 5 straight years.
Indeed they did. Thank you, Alana. There is nothing more difficult than doing an interview like that with 50,000 people breathing down your neck. But the Dodgers are the champions. They have won 5 in a row. That is a wrap for us from Dodger Stadium. The night has just begun. Access Sportsnet continues after this.